Welcome to another episode of the A-List Movie Club. I am your host, the Game Changer, Wes Truth. And as always, I'm being joined by Dominic and John. How's it going tonight, guys?
It's going all right.
All right.
Good.
All right. And as everyone knows, this is the show where each week one of us picks a different movie for the others to check out. And this time it was Dominic's turn, and he went from his masterpiece streak to a very different movie. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what you picked this time?
Who knows? I may rate this a masterpiece. I don't know. I picked the 80s movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I had never seen it, and I wanted to see it, so I picked it. And if you can't, and if you don't,
How you feel about that decision now?
If you don't get the gist of it, it's about killer clowns from outer space.
Really, no synopsis needed for this episode. It's just teens find a big top in the woods that is actually a spaceship filled with killer clowns, and they get out and wreak havoc on the city. Is the basic synopsis for this movie.
So you said no synopsis needed, and then you gave a synopsis.
So I gotta put some pictures in somewhere.
Okay, I'll start off. Now there's two ways to rate this movie. Okay.
Oh yeah.
One is on the merits of the movie itself, which is horrible. But entertainment value, oh my God, I laughed my ass off throughout this movie. It was so bad. It was so cheesy. It was so campy. You got 43-year-old people playing college kids. You know, it's just John Vernon was in it. He played a cop. Oh my God, he was just in it for a paycheck. You know, that's all it was. His Animal House money ran out. You know. But I really enjoyed myself watching this. I mean, I really did. It was fun. I mean, it was so, oh God, horrible. But it was so much fun to watch. It kept me so entertained. So, man, if you go into it expecting a terrible movie and just want something that is so bad it's awesome, this is a movie for you.
I actually own this movie.
Awesome.
Factory sealed, never been opened. I watched it on Netflix, so I'd have to open it.
Yeah.
I've seen this movie before. This is probably like the 5th or 6th time I've seen this movie.
Oh my God!
And it never gets any better. I watched it with my son and his mom, and 10 minutes into it, they both were like, "Dad, this movie's not any good." And I'm like, "Yep." That took about 9 minutes longer than it should have. I think John Vernon is the only one who's even trying.
Yeah.
He's the best actor of the bunch, which, you know, is kind of a low bar, but
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want a Mystery Science Theater it's a good movie for that. I laughed at it. I didn't laugh with it, but I laughed at it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's so bad, it's good.
I know. It is. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's not like Howard the Duck bad where you want to turn it off halfway through.
Right.
Right.
Like, you're watching this going, this is awful. I want to see what they do next.
Yeah.
You know?
And I mean
Uh,
oh my God, the special effects.
What's special? They ain't special.
I like the sound effect.
Yeah. There's certain things I remember that I like. I like the clown driving the car. That's not a car.
Yeah.
His feet are the headlights. That was pretty cool, I thought. Yeah. There's no like, where do they come from? Why are they here? There's nothing. There's no background to them. You barely know the characters' names because the movie's so quick. It's like, like I forget what their names are or what they're doing. It's like, there's no character development whatsoever.
The only
guy made a movie.
Wasn't one of the characters named Dave?
Yeah, the cop. The cop was Dave.
Yeah, the good-looking blonde cop. Yes. His ex-girlfriend was the main girl, whatever her name was. Deb.
I have it written down.
Debbie, I think it is Deb.
Yeah, Debbie Stoner. And the main guy is Mike Tobacco.
That tells you all you need to know right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, whoever thought up this movie must have been stoned off his ass, man. Honestly.
Yeah. It's terrible. It's really bad. Yeah, your streak of all 10s is over, Dom.
Well, I figured it would be.
Yeah, this is definitely one that I think is so bad it's good. Like Leprechaun is my all-time favorite, so bad it's good. But this one definitely kept me highly entertained. I was tearing up at some of the dumb antics. As a horror movie, it's not scary, but as a comedy, I think it's hysterical. That I really haven't laughed. I cannot tell you the last time I laughed this much at something. It might have been like the first Borat. The acting, cheesy all around. Some of the worst reaction shots in cinema history. The Pharmacist. While the clowns are terrorizing the pharmacy. He's like doing an Adam Sandler impersonation.
With the same look on his face every time they cut to him.
Yeah. But it just made me laugh so bad. Some of the lines, what in tarnation? I'm like, it's Yosemite Sam. Yeah, we said the bad special effects. It was interesting with the victims being put in cotton candy cocoons to be eaten later. I give them that. The popcorn blaster gun, killer balloon animals. I think my favorite were the pies, though, when they get the security guard. What are you going to do with those pies, boys? Just like some of those lines were all so bad they're funny. The characters are all pretty stupid, especially the Terenzini brothers. Is that how you say it? Oh God! Why would you even bring those guys along for something?
See, I think they should see if those two guys are still alive. Bring them back and make a sequel with them as the
oh God. But I think the thing that made me laugh the most had to be the clown with the boxing gloves that punches the biker's head off into a trash can. I died when that happened. Yeah, I think the clowns look freaky enough. If you're afraid of clowns, it could scare you as a kid or a grown man if you're afraid of clowns. But it has some cool style. I give it that. Almost like cartoonish, kind of. And it definitely has a huge cult fan base over time. I did hear that they kind of do like a Rocky Horror thing with this movie, where they will throw popcorn at the screen and yell lines and stuff like that. I think that would be pretty fun, honestly. I definitely think this is a great guilty pleasure movie if you're looking for one. If you have any interest in the title, you get what you came for.
So, John, do you have any trivia?
Uh, my favorite kill in the whole movie is when he's making shadow puppets and the dinosaur eats those people.
Yeah.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
And the cop is just sitting there like, let's see what he does.
Holy shit!
The movie was made with a $2 million budget.
I think
and it shows.
And they pocketed 1,900,000 of it.
It said most of it was spent on production costs. The clowns and the visual effects were created almost entirely by the filmmakers. Remember the scene where that clown was talking about that's driving a visible car, pushes that car off a cliff? That was supposed to like be more spectacular and explosions and roll down the hill, but the crew that set up the car didn't do it right, so the car just rolled and got stuck on a tree. They just left it like that in the film.
Perfect.
When he turned in the film, the studio said, "This movie will be a complete failure that will die a quick death." And the director responded, "Well, you don't get it. There are people that will love this movie." There's action figures out of this movie. I've never seen them.
There's Funko Pops.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
I want a Mike Tobacco pop.
They made the clowns, not the people.
The Terenzi brothers are a comedy duo.
You could have fooled me.
The pie scene you were talking about, that was originally meant to be Soupy Sales.
Oh, God.
Oh, jeez.
Because he's famous for getting a pie thrown in his face.
Right.
But the studio couldn't afford to fly him in to do the scene. so he didn't make it. He's probably glad for that. The movie originally ended the way it did, where nobody survived, but the studio made him change it because they wanted something a little happier. Should have been the whole damn movie.
That's the one thing they made him change.
The big clown at the end is affectionately known as Clownzilla by fans.
That's funny.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot because nobody wants to write shit about this movie.
All righty, let's rate them.
Oh, do we have to?
I'll go first. On the merits of the movie itself, I give this movie. Can I give a 0?
We did with Howard the Duck.
Okay. Well, it was better than Howard the Duck, so I'll give it 1. Entertainment value, it's a solid 8, man. And I would recommend this movie to people. Just to
right audience, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say if you are comparing it to what we've already viewed, like Godfather and Manchester by the Sea, this is a dumpster fire, nowhere near that shit. If you rate it based purely as cinema, it's definitely a 0 or a 1.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna rate it like Dom said about you're entertained, it's sort of a Rocky Horror cult classic kind of thing, then yeah, it's probably a 6 or 7.
Okay.
I totally agree with you guys. I'm going the entertainment value score because that's just how I roll with movies like this. So I'm going to say 7.
All right, Johnny, what is your pick for next week?
All right, I'm going to pick one of my all-time top favorite movies. It's in my top 5. Absolutely love this movie. I'm going to pick The Crow.
Oh, wow.
Ooh. Very good. Very good move. Very good.
Oh man,
I've never seen it.
nice. I almost don't have to watch it. I can tell you right now. I've seen that movie a million times. I can probably close my eyes and tell you every scene.
So we will be back next week with our thoughts on The Crow. But until then, John, you want to talk a little bit about your podcast?
Yeah, a weekly podcast called We Like Wrestling. It's we just sit around discussing current events in wrestling, past. This week I think we're talking about, because it's Women's History Month, we're talking about how the women's wrestling has evolved over the years. We're on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you find podcasts. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We Like Wrestling Podcast.
All right. And of course, for me, you can subscribe right here on YouTube, youtube.com/westside515. Like the show on Facebook, facebook.com/WestTruePaylist. And of course, you can follow me on the Twitter and Instagram @WestAlist. Until next time, truth
Poop
out.
out.